Good morning, Mr. Board. Thanks for having the clouds. It was bright and sunny in Amarillo this morning. Clouds coming over. This is I think the formal ask from our summer celebration that I shared with you folks last week is coming up on July 25th. And the recommendation is that the Lodgers Tax Board purchase the salutes, the 8 of those, and to showcase the 4 museums, the golf course, the murals, and the lakes on that end. So before you have that proposal for a total of $7,600 for all of those. And that will be billed in your July piece because you guys have an account with us. If you see on there, it says, monies must be paid by June 30, but those are for folks who are cash in advance, like some of the other folks in town who do not have an established account with us. So this invoice will come at the end of July, 1st of August on that end to y'all side of the world. So technically it is next year's money on that side of the world, unless you wanted to encumber that for this year. It's totally your call. So
we're gonna pay afterwards?
Mhm.
All right.
Yep.
So basically, you got commercial during the summer.
Correct. They are 15-second salutes, and there will be 8 of them that run during the actual 1-hour program, which will be from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Savings Time on that day. And then and I apologize, I actually don't have that salute package with me. There are other digital pieces and some other things with that will run during the month of July. There's a lot of extra with that. So, and then we will be filming those here within the next couple of weeks to get those done. And, we'd love to have all of the Lodgers Tax Board together for at least a, salute or something like, sorry, going back to my hee-haw days on that end. But we'll say, these salutes brought to you by the Lodgers Tax Board, the city of Tucumcari on that end. So you'll get media credit for that as well. And then these will also be available for use later on the website and on social media, as is everything we do for the city of Tucumcari. Happy to answer any additional questions.
After the event is done, there'll be a reporting session for it.
Yes, this will all be included in our regular reporting for the month of July, the August meeting. And you'll see it as a separate little piece because again, there's 2 parts. There's broadcast and there's some digital pieces to it. And so it'll be tagged separately on that.
And what channels is this going to run on?
It'll be on the broadcast side of the world. It'll be News Channel 10, our main one during that hour. And then it'll run on, I think, News Channel 10, I think 10.2, and there's some other pieces in the balance of our properties that it runs on, and then the digital space as well, which is all of our online pieces with newschannel10.com, anybody who goes to that. We've obviously had an uptick in traffic with all of the weather stuff the last week and a half. It's been nuts. We were wall-to-wall weather coverage over the weekend with 8 tornado warnings. Dalhart almost got hit. It was pretty. We did solid, and our viewership numbers were up. So these types of things as they go on.
And Canyon did hit also?
Canyon got hit with egg-size hail and 84-mile-an-hour winds, and had some friends who lost most of their windows and roofs.
Did they get hit again last night?
Not to my knowledge. Last night was actually pretty quiet for us. It was like north and south of us, but the night before, Friday night, I think it was, when that one came through.
Last night they were talking about text line and that area.
Yeah, that northern part, text line, and that neck of the woods got hit pretty hard this night, yes, ma'am. So.
You keep skimming it, thank goodness. It keeps going around.
So what does the board think about?
I totally agree on this.
I'm sorry?
I totally agree on this.
I like them.
Yeah, I think.
I like the idea.
So if somebody likes the idea,
Real quick, what are the salutes going to be utilized for?
The 4 museums, the 2 lakes, the golf course,
And the murals.
and the murals.
It may switch depending upon how the lakes go. We may switch one of the lakes to a mural. we may go 2 murals in one lake or 2 lakes in one mural, just kind of depending on what that looks like, because 2 of them for lakes, it's water, and we may be able to get both of them in the same. But that'll be a kind of a game day decision as we move forward, depending on what we kind of look at.
So on the murals, will you go to all of them or?
No, remember, these are
the
only,
main ones?
these are
We
only,
get 5 of them.
these are only 15-second spots on that end. So if we do 2 of them on the murals, we'll probably be able to hit about 10 of them on that end. And obviously, we want to look at the ones that are in the best shape and are the most iconic on that end to draw people in on that side of the world. So, and we'll be looking for, guidance from whoever's kind of in charge of those, whether that's you guys or the chamber or what that, or Main Street.
Well, please don't put that one that's on the side of this building over here. That man, or that man over there. on the
All right,
back.
moving on. Uh,
You're not on the board. You're.
Okay, let's try to stay on time. So do we have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
No second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Do us good.
Okay, next, Route 66, those, Doss areas.
Yes, I'll let you start.
Good morning. How's everybody? My name's Tony Wilson. I'm with the Chamber of Commerce. This is Shannon
Hi.
Lumpkin. She's the director of the Chamber of Commerce. And we come begging your mercy because we are not as prepared as we should be for this presentation. Christine was unable to be here. She's been the one working on this project. And so I'm going to let Shannon tell you what she knows. I think that Joanne's been also working on this project, so I don't know if that's a conflict or how she can help us navigate what we need to tell you. But we need $13,000 from the Lodgers Tax Board, and we need it up front. We've got investors or donations for the other half. And so that's where we are. That's what I know.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Joanne, you might have a little bit more knowledge about this actually than what we do because you were kind of on the inside working on it. You've heard from Christine and we didn't receive a lot of information this morning, but I got a chance to look at the contract. And just to go over things. So this is the Art in America documentary that will be aired on Tubi. I would expect, I haven't seen the viewership numbers, but probably based on experience, it would be in the hundreds of thousands, if not a little bit more, over a period of time because it'll re-air. It looks like very good quality footage and the contract in and of itself. So just my background a little bit, I had the opportunity to work on some productions for about 4 or 5 years on Boardwalk Empire and then into smaller productions with Michael Pitt, who was the head of Boardwalk Empire, played Jimmy Darmondy and one of the producers on Boardwalk Empire. So I had that experience and in indie production had the experience to look at a lot of contracts. And in this contract, it seems very fair. The only thing it does seem is that if the city were not interested in, well, the city would have to put the money up front because they need the money to do the production. Then they're going to sell the piece, and the city could bring in investment money on that if you had the legal structure to do it. But yeah, we would need $13,000 up front, and it's not actually for us, it's for the production company, and that money would go from you directly to the production company. They would handle the finances. And yeah, that's what I know. So, Joanne?
Joanna also, was trying to champion this project. It had been brought to the board and then Matt had made the challenge if we could get half down. And so Christina and I really, believing in the project and also, just wanting in general to bring, art tourism to Tucumcari. That this was a step in the right direction. Is it a silver bullet that's going to make us an instant art destination? No, but it's a step in the right direction. And, it's a lasting form of advertising. It's a lasting, place to keep us on the map. It's not an event-driven once and done kind of investment. This is a long-term investment. It's for a whole different type of people that we usually don't get here.
Also,
John-
not to be threatening, but Santa Rosa is the next stop they're gonna do. So if we don't take advantage of this opportunity to be seen by this worldwide group of people, Santa Rosa's gonna get they're gonna do it. And so, I mean, that's not a threat, it's just the facts.
Right, and,
That's
you
where
know,
it's
John
gonna
did
go.
speak to us last week about, you know, that they do not, that is not one of the groups that they try to attract from their advertisement. So I think it's kind of a little bit of a hole, even though it's 4% of the market share. They do, it's reported that our tourists spend twice as much and they spend twice as long. So even though it's a small amount of people, they're spending more money and they're spending more time. So I think that accounts for 8% to 10% of people. And, you know, Christine, and I know that you guys have always said, you know, people coming in want, and also Lonnie at the museum, want a map of the murals. They are definitely coming here for the murals, and now we are pushing the murals for two spots. We obviously know that that's important. And so I just thought it was just a great way to do it. We did get 13,500 in pledges, actual cash. I think we actually had to have a check for 10,000. So the lodgers tax actually wouldn't be paying up the whole thing up front, only half.
Right.
So,
I don't think we'll be paying anything.
well, if you can, I also listened to, as per your suggestion, that I think it's the events have to be paid up front. No?
Yeah, does the lodgers tax
Or-
board have
or-
a
or-
policy that you don't?
What's the state law? It's reimbursement.
It's
I didn't-
reimbursement only, so you can't put any money into
No, we
anything.
can't even put $5 in.
Okay.
And I tried to help Christine because the idea is wonderful. It is. I can't argue against the idea. I texted her trying to get everything lined up. I said, okay, have the chamber pay 100%, and
The
then
chamber doesn't have any money.
Well,
And
but
then,
she did say that they had been, from last year's, allocation.
they still have to get
31,000.
reimbursed. It's a budget, but we have to reimburse it at the end.
I
So we
read
cannot-
over, I read over all the lodgers tax, stuff from the state. And
Yeah.
although they are specific about what it's used for, I couldn't find any language for a reimbursement.
It's on our application, and
Excuse me, Matt, I think the best person that would be able to answer this question would be our certified purchasing officer. Yes, we cannot pay in advance. Services have got to be rendered before.
Services, but this is marketing, is it different?
It is not, it's still a service.
Is there does Tucumcari have no vehicle to work with any kind of bridge loan or anything like that? Certainly there must have been other things that have come up like this. Where the bank would finance certain projects and then you guys could be paying, you know, like that trust flow.
We don't, I mean, we don't get loans from the bank, but they're not.
No, I guess I was thinking something like, you know, if you had like I don't know.
Yeah, Joanne, the state film office actually has a vehicle to provide bridge loans, and they work with private financing to do it. They also can they can become a guarantor for the film production, guaranteeing that it would happen if they somehow ended up.
if the
Yeah.
chamber wants to go that route,
I understand, yeah, thank you for being clear. I didn't understand really all of this up until until now. I think that there was maybe a lack of communication.
I think that after, the services have been rendered, they send over an invoice and the chamber or whichever organization wants to send that invoice over to the city. The commission approves, lodgers tax recommends, commission approves approves ahead of time before, then I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah.
It has to be on reimbursement.
So, so if this is a new city policy, if it's not,
No.
it's
No,
state
it's
law,
always
state law,
state law.
okay, I'm gonna read it, figure it out. Yeah.
But it's actually, 13-1 58 or 158.
Perfect,
So thank you for the clarification.
yeah, absolutely.
Could you repeat, please? 13?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sit down, thank you for your time.
13-58 or 158.
So if the chamber wants to get that loan that you were saying through the state,
I'll contact the
Okay,
film
that's
office
fine.
and see if they have anything, see if they can help.
that would be great, but.
Yeah.
Sorry. Will you guys approve to reimburse us if we get that done? Can you approve that now so that we're,
We don't. Also emailed Christine and said, if the chamber was gonna do this, if it was gonna be under the chamber, we would probably need a, application. And I told her that on Thursday.
I'm sorry, there was a real lack of communication and I'm embarrassed for
No,
all of,
no,
I'm
no.
sorry, but I thought it was all laid out.
And to be honest with you,
coming
this is
to
a good
ask.
thing. It is. And I think it's a good company. Well, what I understand, it was a good company, or it is a good company. But there's state rules we have to go by.
Right, no, and I apologize 1,000 times that we wasted your time. I had no
But like I
idea.
said, if
and,
y'all can get a loan through that organization,
The New Mexico
We
Film
just think
Office,
it's a
yeah.
wonderful project and we shouldn't miss out on getting it for Tucumcari, so, and that's why I was here. And
I think we all agree on that.
Oh, yeah,
I
we all
think it's
agree,
a
it's
great
just the money.
project.
And so you think it
I
would
don't
be
even know how
approved
Santa
if
Rosa would do
we
it.
went forward with it because it's,
Good point on that. I just want to say that it's the McMullen Foundation that has committed to funding part of this. And we might be able to go to them about paying for the production and then receiving the reimbursement. If y'all would be willing to put that into contract ahead of time and vote on that. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
we have to have all the information. We can't just.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That would be the concept. And if we got it into writing to you, is that something that y'all can vote on ahead of time that the McMullen Foundation
I
would?
think if it's in writing and we have something to say that, yes, y'all have done that, and then we can reimburse that away. Would that
The
work?
reimbursement would then go to the
You would have
McMullen
to talk to
Foundation.
the,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if we approved it, then it has to go to the commission,
Whatever,
the commission has to.
so,
Right.
yeah. You would have to ask Angelica if that's.
Okay.
or not.
all right, I
So this is my
apologize.
recommendation.
Okay,
Fill out a lodger's tax application, funding application.
we haven't done that?
Bring it before the
Okay.
lodger's tax board. Let them vote on it. If it passes, then that agreement needs to go over to the commission and let them approve it.
Okay, and what's the timeline on that, on how?
Okay, that's up to-
However,
Mhm.
the approval here at this stage is not for $13,000 upfront. It will be for reimbursement.
I understand that now, very clearly. Thank you. Yeah, I think that was a
So
misunderstanding, just
it
between.
sounds like, to me, from reading this, I mean, there's definitely a pretty short timeframe.
Yeah, unless the production would be willing to give us a couple of weeks to work on it.
So is there
They
an
might be able to use
application
your deadline.
currently?
Do what?
No.
No.
Do what?
I asked if there was an application.
No, I think Matt had a conversation with Christine.
Yeah, it was over,
Email, yeah.
through email. And I
We got
asked-
you, thank you, appreciate you very much. We'll come back with an application.
You guys can just make sure to get it in on time. for
Sure.
the July's meeting.
Okay.
That way, at the next commission meeting, it can be heard.
Okay, perfect, thank you. This is,
It has to be in here 72 hours before the meeting.
got you, got you.
Can we do a motion to table?
Whatever you want, we can just move on. City of Tucumcari. You have anything?
Yeah, it's nothing in regards to the lodger's tax. I just wanted to say a little something. At the last meeting that you guys had, there was, some political views that were said. Well, I know we all have our own opinions. I'm personally asking that you guys keep that outside of these chambers. Once you pass that threshold, walk out the door, have at it. If you dislike the board that appoints you guys as the board members for this committee, that you just keep it silent. You don't be using this as a forum to express your decisions either way, of either the whole or individual, board members, commission members. Just because at this point, we're already fighting a lot of negativity within town, and having it coming from the board that the commission's appointing, it's kind of, it's not sending a very good message. So I just ask that you guys please keep that outside these chambers.
I appreciate that, and I'm sorry that I didn't control this meeting like it should, and we'll all do better on that.
And then also, we did send out a budget report, to you guys here.
Have any questions on the budget? I know.
Well, not that one. I was, senior, could you get this one?
We can, she's in the middle of doing interviews, so
Sure.
that's why I caught her between
No problem.
doing interviews to get us this for you guys. So.
We do appreciate,
Yes.
what we got, and we understand that she's busy and everything, so we do appreciate that.
I have, if you guys have any questions, or me.
Questions? Yeah. Public comments, 3 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, public comments, 3 minutes.
I'll give you guys one.
Okay.
Just to all of you, thank you for doing what you do. Coming back into town has been a pleasure, and I know there's a lot going on, and let's all work together and get it taken care of, and get back on our feet, and let's roll. Thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Comments from the board. Al?
Yes. Do we need to create our own Tucumcari logo for Centennial Celebration?
I'll just speak to that. I'll just speak to that, from the general discussion about, a refresh of the rebrand. We are working on that, and should have some things within the next, I'm kind of hoping by end of the week, first of next week, at least some things for y'all to look at, in terms of brand refresh as well as a Centennial logo. That's something that, we talked about after that meeting, this last week. So we're actively working on that just to present some proposals to you.
Understood. Why I say that is because Desert Inn has already rolled out their 18-month campaign. So should we need to do ours?
It's very nice.
Yes, so it's just a good thing. That's our Centennial logo.
Very cool. I like that. It's
So I
fun.
figured it might be a good idea for the city to do something.
It's the logo for the city and for other businesses, so that we're going to try to keep that the same theme. We're using the same colors or font or whatever.
Is that for the brand identity?
So last meeting, correct me if I'm wrong, we discussed, hey, this old branding was over 5 years old, we might need to move forward on
A
the
refresh.
refresh. I don't know how the city wants to proceed with this, if we want to if they want to get a board together or whatever, or if they want to do it in-house or whatnot. But yeah, that's a good idea, I just don't know how, they just know how to approach it.
So there's two
Are
things, right? One is the refresh, and then the Centennial Celebration logo. There's two different things.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's a good idea. I think we need a refresh, and we also need a Centennial logo.
Can I speak to that? We've branded Tucumcari with colors and with the logos, and all the departments in Tucumcari don't even know about the colors. We've got things that are random colored here. I mean, if we're gonna spend thousands of dollars to brand Tucumcari, then it needs to be made public. I mean, I thought the wayfinding team was working on, like telling us that we need to keep everything very consistent with the colors, very consistent with the way things are, so that people can find what they're looking for. And so if we're gonna spend after our 5 years of nobody paying, I mean, you know, a few places have paid attention to the colors and the thing, but not everybody. And if we're gonna spend that much money to do that, then we need a vehicle to make sure that everybody's following along. You know, all the places are following along. That's my 3 minutes. Thank you.
John, how do businesses refresh their logo?
It totally depends. That it could be, you know, if you're 588-2300 Empire, if you grew up in my era, you still see that. If you watch, you know, Bozo the Clown Show on WGN with Harry Carey in the afternoon cut ball games. In fact, I just heard it yesterday. 588-2300 Empire.
Right.
I remember that from 40 plus years ago, without stating my age of 54. So that's a company that has had a jingle that has lasted forever. Coca-Cola, it's the real thing, right? Have a Coke and a smile. Burger King, have it your way. Those types of things. So those larger ones, those can last literally generations. Some others, you may have a new owner and they may want to take it a completely different way. So there's no right, wrong reason to do that. The reason I stood up on this and just to clarify, any brand refresh or extra logos that we tackle for the city of Tucumcari is going to be included in our
Scope of work.
in our scope of work. So we're not going to come back and say, hey, we need an extra $6,000 for a brand refresh or things like that. But those are things that are just automatically included in that, as is any sort of production things that we do for y'all. So there's not an additional cost to the city for extra on that side of the world. I just want to make that very clear.
I do want to add something on, regarding billboards. I received a contract from Lamar for the new vinyls. I'm just not too sure what direction we're gonna go, regards to design. Who am I gonna get the designs for the new billboards? We have, like I said, a contract that will more than likely be on the agenda for Thursday. But what art are we gonna put?
You know, I think we pushed some, and there's been some that have been approved, and there were some other ones that I think the billboard company did as well. So we're just, I mean, that's up to y'all which ones you want to put on. You know, if this may be something that while the approval, you know, could come Thursday of the funds, it may be something that, you know, give us a little bit to maybe towards the end of the month to look at some refresh stuff. The great thing with technology today, a rebranding, a redoing of the book, as it were, the brand book, is not a months-long process. It's a days and weeks long process. So that would just be my recommendation, is just give us a little bit of time. I've got our folks tasked with it from last week, and I think that we could probably have something that we could spin up and roll out by 1st of July on that end, if you know, everybody agrees. To the point of as y'all were talking about the different folks in the city following that, I don't believe it's within the purview of the city of Tucumcari to demand or instruct private businesses that they can't use on that end.
I'm
But I
not
think,
talking about private businesses,
But-
I'm talking about the departments within the city.
well, with that end, you know, I think the city can direct that be done, but you know, some of those things, especially if they're printing materials, that does cost money on that end, but that would just be hey, this is the new one and everything forward, you know, take care of it. You know, again, we're happy to help with letterhead design and things of that nature. It's all digital these days, so it's fairly simple, but we stand ready to assist in whatever way that either the lodger's tax or the city commission deems necessary. Thank you.
So for the logo, my position is to keep the logo. It's the color combination that needs to change.
Yeah.
The logo is just fine, the long Tucumcari and then the T with the circle. And then when it comes to the commission, if it's possible to relay the message, because our liaison is not here, on the direction of artwork they want. Because we could be waiting months and then not giving us direction. Same thing what happened with the banners, is they need to tell us. or telemarketing, from, hey, we want balloons or Zia Club or Roll Runners, whatever.
I think the top line of the Tucumcari could just have a slight profile of the mountain, just to include it, just to kind of keep it, but also have, it wouldn't take much just to
Yeah.
kind of come up and down and include the picture of the mountain, maybe a little star, so it could be, or a moon,
Yeah.
little slice of a moon, so it would be Tucumcari tonight, it would be very like
So,
that.
yeah.
It's the mountain, it's at night.
So there's two things that I would suggest is that we as a board need to brainstorm before it moves forward on what we would like, and then seeing what the commission would like. Second is we need to know what our budget is and how much this refresh is gonna cost us.
Also, did Wayfinders get approved, or
Yeah, one time ago.
did it, or I thought it was wobbling, I didn't hear that.
We had an RFP.
Do you want to bring it up or do you want me to bring it up? So we have received one proposal, and I mentioned that at the last meeting, I believe. So I have two committee members, and we're gonna bring it up today here to see if one of the Rogers Tax Board members wanted to be my third evaluator for that proposal.
For the artwork or for the,
Charity.
For the proposal for marketing, that's what you asked about, right?
What?
Okay.
Which I think she was asking about the wayfinding.
well, I was just wondering what the proposal, I don't know what the proposal was about. Was it the whole scope of their signs and everything?
So, Gray Media's contract expires June 30th. And so I went out for a request for proposal 2 months ago, I believe. We received one proposal, which was from Gray Media, and I need a committee to evaluate that proposal. Selected, we have 2 members so far, and we were thinking about one of the board members from Rogers Tax.
There you go.
I'm interested in.
That's the
Yeah.
board, not the decision making.
Oh, darn.
Yes, I'm very comfortable. It's just relaying messages is really critical.
So the one thing to understood, that I need to make clear is that that's gonna happen soon, because I want that contract to be on the agenda this Thursday.
Yes.
So I wanna pass out the proposals today, you all evaluate them, review them at home.
Yes.
Wednesday, we would come together, discuss those, recommend a contract to the commission. If not, we're looking at the last commission meeting in June, and that is Connect Post. Otherwise, that we would have one no later than that date. I don't feel comfortable going to the last meeting. I prefer for it to happen this coming Thursday.
Yeah, that would be the best. We went through that the last time.
So is it 2 or 3 proposals that we need to review and,
It's just one proposal.
okay. So can we do that over email or do we need to come
It needs to be done in person.
in person?
So we're doing Wednesday?
So we need to come in here
It's
Wednesday.
not gonna be the whole entire committee. It'll be just one member. And I need for you all to decide that today.
I added something on Wednesday.
Yeah. When is
If
it?
nobody else wants, you can do it, I'll do it.
Yes, you can do it.
Yeah, I think a lot of those very capable.
Where-
Okay, so then I will, probably give you a call sometime this afternoon to pick up the proposal.
Okay.
You'll have to evaluate it at home before, and then Wednesday, I'm not sure the time, I'm not sure, but I'll send you an email, letting you know what time we need to meet here on
Okay.
Wednesday.
So you're gonna call me, are you gonna call me on my cell phone or the business phone?
Whichever you prefer.
The cell phone would be better.
Okay, what's your phone number?
575-708-0492.
and you-
Yeah,
Any other comments from the board?
Yeah. Do we have anything from Excel on putting up hardware for the banners? when we get the banners?
We'll make that
Yeah, that's the city.
with,
That's,
with Excel after we receive the banners. And then we'll go from there to get the hardware.
Because we'll get the banners and the hardware at the same time.
No,
So the hardware will come and then the banners will come in sections.
And
That's
so
what-
when can we expect that?
That's in process right now. They should be calling you. I don't know if they, okay. I talked to him, Thursday afternoon and I said, please call me, see what, so, and I'll get you that.
So do we
I'll
have
get you that info.
Do we have a date or anything?
No,
We've not communicated.
It's with the-
with
it's-
company.
Yeah, it'll be this summer, this summertime,
It's summertime.
not 15, 22nd.
Technically, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
until the 21st.
Still spring, still spring storm.
Any other comments? All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank y'all. Thank you for your, opinions and your expertise.
Next
And
meeting?
next meeting